Hey everyone, Dan here from HippoCrisis Gaming, and today we're going to be looking at how to transfer your Pokemon from Generation 5 into Generation 6 using the new Pokemon Bank and Pokemon Transporter applications. So you're going to need your 3DS with a internet connection. You're going to need a copy of your Pokemon X or Y and a copy of Generation 5 games. I'm going to transfer my Pokemon from my White to. Apologies that my webcam is flipped, but you get the idea. So, first thing you're going to want to do, I've obviously already downloaded Pokemon Bank, but you're going to want to use your 3DS menu to go to the shop. Obviously, the shop is your shop. It's a standard thing, and at the moment the Pokemon Bank is kind of the first application that you see, so it's easy to download. It's a free application, so you just have to go straight onto it. You can always search for it if you need to, and yeah, just download it to your 3DS. You don't have to pay or anything, you don't have to have any money in your account, you can just get straight on with it. So you go onto the screen, go onto the app, and obviously I've already bought mine, as it says downloaded, but if you buy it and download it and install it, and then you will be back to your home page. You'll receive the app as a present on your screen, and then you can open it, and what you want to do, nice jingle, is you want to put in your Pokemon X or Y card into your 3DS and start the app. When you first start the Pokemon Bank app, you have to agree to some terms and conditions, and if you don't have your Pokemon X and Y card in, it won't let you start the game, which is a bit annoying because it's an online thing, so you shouldn't really need to have Pokemon X and Y in there, but from my experience you do, but that's fine. So apologies if we have to wait for stuff. I want to do this in real time, so you can see how long it actually takes and stuff. Okay, so you'll be given the chance to purchase a free trial. I think that's active until the 14th of March if you get Pokemon Bank before then. I have 28 days left on my trial. After that you have to pay. I think in the UK it's £4.50 or and in the US it's about $5. I think it's about $6.50 in Australia. The numbers are around. So you'll get greeted by this person who's invented Pokemon Bank. You'll have to agree to terms and conditions, and then you'll be able to actually use the application. The first thing you want to do if you're transporting Pokemon from Generation 5, Pokemon Black, Pokemon White, White 1 or White 2, is to use the Poké Transporter download. So if you click on that and you haven't got it yet, it will take you to the shop and take you straight to the transporter where you can then download that application. So she's just telling me I've already got it. So then we would end up on our home screen, which apparently we can't jump to. Are you sure you want to quit the bank? Yes, please. So, back to the home screen, and the Pokemon Transporter will look like this. So, the first thing we need to do is prepare our Pokemon Black and White, because it will only recognize things in the first box of the PC, which is kind of annoying, but what can you do? So, we want to swap out our Pokemon X for Pokemon White 2, and we want to boot that game up. I want to also find the slot to put the game in. There we are. And I want to boot up the game. And woo. And what we want to do when we get here is we just want to go to a PC. So if you have a computer absolutely full of Pokemon, you maybe move some from Generation 4, maybe you've done a lot of trading, complete the Pokédex, you're obviously going to have a lot more to trade across. I had a lot of event legendaries on my Pokemon White 1 card, and it took me a long time to sort them out, but I have worked out a few kind of tips to speed it up. So you go to someone's PC, I think it's Amanita's PC if you've actually learned it, and you want to go to move Pokemon. So you'll see on my screen, if I switch back to the bottom, that my first box, based on what is box 2, is the reserve box, and all my Pokemon are in the graveyard box. So the easiest way to transfer them across is to press the yellow button, which is up on the top of the screen. This will allow you to, and I've not got my stylus with me, but there we go. This will turn your cursor yellow and allow you to select all your Pokemon at once if you just move around, and then you can just pick them all up and then go over to the box thing on the right, or just skip through using the shoulder buttons on the DS and pop them all down in your first box. Now obviously if you have lots of boxes, you've got to come back to the game and do this every time, but we'll get back to that later. So all the Pokemon I want to transfer are now in my box 1. I know I called it reserve, but normally it would be box 1. So we don't want to continue the box operations, and then we want to make sure, sorry, I'll move the mouse cursor, we want to make sure that we save the game so that we can switch PC off, and then we want to save the game so that the positions of the Pokemon in the boxes are in place. You can see my zombie team there, ready to go. I've leveled them all up finally. So slight hint there. Okay, and then we can go, now we've saved, we can go back to the home screen, skip straight there, and get into the Pokemon Transporter app. So wait for the DS to wake back up again. Here we go, and then head to the Transporter app on the bottom screen and open that. So then when you open the Pokemon Transporter, you'll get a similar appearance to Pokemon Bank, and it will connect to the internet. And connect to the internet again. And then communicate with the bank server. Oh, Nintendo. You're so efficient. Now what this app is going to do is it's going to check all of the Pokemon in your first box, decide if any of them are illegal Pokemon, as in they are hacked or they have like some sort of move that means you can't move them. I believe it only checks 2 things. One, that it's not evolved before the level it's allowed to evolve at, and that it's not a legendary with really weird data that you couldn't possibly have gotten. I think it lets through a lot, actually. I know a lot of people were thinking it wouldn't, but I think it does let through quite a lot of stuff, which is bad, I guess. But anyway, yeah, so it's telling you now anything you transfer from a Generation 5 game cannot be put back into the game, so I will not be able to have these Pokemon in White 2 anymore. Any items that these Pokemon have will go in the bag of my character, which is called Crisis, and if my bag is full, the items will just vanish. And then it will show you the Pokemon that's going to transfer. Now you can only transfer them all at once, which is why you have to set the box up. If any of the Pokemon are unable to be transferred, for example you have an egg or an illegal Pokemon, it will simply leave those in box 1. You won't lose those, it won't report you, it won't block you or anything, it just won't transfer them onto Pokemon Bank. So these are the ones we're going to get. These are all my all the Pokemon that have fainted on my Nuzlocke. And then you just say yes in the bottom screen that you want to transfer the box, and it will save the game. So sync it with your Pokemon White or Black cartridge and send the Pokemon to Pokemon Bank. Now you'd think, or at least you would hope, it would be quite easy and that they'd just be now in the box in Pokemon Bank. You wouldn't have to go and move them around, but no. In order to do anything about them, you have to go and move them out of the transport box, which is a special box on your Pokemon Bank, which is for the Pokemon Transporter. So we'll head back into the Bank app, but to do that we have to swap cartridges back to Pokemon X. This is where it just gets really annoying, and I wish you didn't have to do it, because it knows it's an online application. I shouldn't need my Pokemon X in there. So you're switching cartridges all the time. So back to Pokemon Bank. It will now check the game card again and connect to the internet again. And then this time what we want to do is go to the top option of use Pokemon Bank, and it will ask me if I want to use this game and show me the details of the Pokemon game that I've got in. Obviously it's my Pokemon X, and so I'll say yes, and it will connect to the Bank server. Now what we'll get is the top screen will be Pokemon Bank, and the bottom screen will be the Pokemon boxes from the Pokemon X game, so you can move them freely between the Bank and the Pokemon X. So if you had Pokemon Y, for example, and X, you can move them from the bottom screen to the top screen, put your different game cartridge in, and then drag them down, and move all your Pokemon to one cartridge. That's really easy. Where this gets complicated is, like I say, all of your Pokemon from Pokemon White and Black go in the transport box. They don't just go in the Bank. So if you were now to go into Pokemon Black, move more things into the first box of the PC and go into Transporter, it would tell you you're not allowed to transport anything because there's a Pokemon left in this box. So what we need to do is move these onto the bottom screen. If I just switch down, these are my Pokemon X boxes. And so you've got to like move your cursor down to the bottom screen, or obviously use the touch screen. And what we want to do is find a nice empty area. Will this do? Yes, I think this will do. So we'll swatch back to the top, and you'll notice that because we are unable to use the top screen as a touch screen, we're going to use the same technique and click on this thing here to get a green cursor. You can also do that by pressing start and cycling through them. So we want the green cursor, and then we want to head back to the top screen, to the transport box, and I've just accidentally moved my boxes, but it's alright. I'm going to select them all, press A, and then move them down onto the bottom screen where I can place them all down here. So now all of them are in my Pokemon X. All I have to do is save the game by pressing the X button, and it will ask me if I want to quit, and I'm going to say yes. What that now is doing is saving the data back onto my Pokemon X card and basically sending me the Pokemon that were on my Pokemon Bank transport box. I could have just moved them straight into the Bank if I didn't have room in my Pokemon X. The Bank stores 3,000 Pokemon, and obviously that goes in, I think, 10... hold on, how many boxes would that be? That would be 100 boxes, wouldn't it? So it's got 100 boxes in it, which obviously a lot more than the game, so that's pretty good. So you can keep them on there, or if you don't want to move them all to Pokemon X, maybe have a living Pokedex on Pokemon X. So sometimes when you transfer, the first time you transfer something into Pokemon Bank, you'll be given either 100 Pokemiles or 10 battle points, which you'll be given the choice of. To collect those, you have to go into the Pokemon X game. So after the second time you do it, you don't have to do that anymore. But basically you log on and it sends them to the Pokemon link, which is, if we hit to the top screen, it is this here. So if you've been given a free gift by Pokemon Bank, you go to this and you click yes. It's not found any data on mine because I've already collected mine, but that's where the points come in. If we then logged off and then went to Pokemon Bank again after collecting these points, we'd be given a free level 10 Celebi, which is the kind of equivalent of Mew from the Generation 2 games from Gold and Silver. That's the last gift I got, and that would be in there. So you would, if you can't get the Celebi unless you've already picked the points up, which is why I'd say go and do it now. Now you can either go and play with your Pokemon, or go back to the home screen, swap your cartridges back to Pokemon Black or White 2, etc. Go to your box, move everything back into box 1, and start the cycle all over again, not forgetting to collect your stuff from Pokemon Link if you want to get your presents. So let's go into my Pokemon game, and let's check out the Pokemon in my bank. So I'm going to go to organize boxes, and we can see this is stuff that I transferred before. It's all my collection of legendaries, which is pretty nice. But what we're concerned about at the moment is box 12, which are my Pokemon from Pokemon White 2. So let's just take some favourites out so we can have a look at them in Pokemon and Me. I'm trying to pick ones that I don't think are actually in Pokemon X, but I can't remember. Is Wailord in it? I've not got one. I think it is in it though. But it's fine. Let's just take a couple out. And in fact, actually, let's get some legendaries. Why not? While we're looking, where are they? They are here. Let's look at Shaman, and oh, I hate that. And maybe Meloetta. Or Victini, or Ho-Oh, it doesn't really matter. Let's move them all. Let's just have a good look around. Let's get Meloetta, just because I suggested it. Okay. So now we could get into a fight with these guys, or we can go Pokemon and Me. Quite worried that my Pokemon are kind of missing, but anyway, there we go. We can do super training. Is he hiding or something? That's weird. How do I'm kind of lost now. Oh, there we go. Okay, so let's play with skills. I don't know. He must have been hiding behind the decoration. So. Hey, buddy. Oh, his eyebrows are too hot to touch. Tummy rub? No? He kind of likes it. Let's feed him. So that's done Manitan. And then we can do it with switch. Let's switch to Ho-Oh and see what Ho-Oh looks like. Oh, he's behind the cushion. Look, that's where he is. Yeah, so that's kind of how easy it is. And because you get the... Ooh, he's up there. I guess you can only tickle his feet. There you go. He's had a long journey through time and space. But yeah, so it's that easy, kind of, and you can, as I say, repeat the process and move all your Pokemon out of your Generation 5 game card, or move them around if you've bought both X and Y. And you do get 30-day trial. So actually, I mean, if you're not going to play your Pokemon X, your Pokemon White and Black anymore, you could always just get the 30-day trial, not keep anything on the bank, and just move everything to your game card, and then you won't have to worry about using Pokemon Bank until a new generation comes out, and that will be the way to transfer them in the future. So you won't be able to transport them across the games for free, but you can always, I mean, the $5 is for a year, so I guess it's not that much of a big deal. But if you don't want to spend $5 now, you could just use the trial, get your free Celebi, and yeah, move on. So that's Pokemon Bank and Pokemon Transporter. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope you've enjoyed learning how to use it, and that you'll have fun with your Generation 5 Pokemon in your Generation 6 games. If you like this video and you want to see more kind of Pokemon tutorial videos, please write in the comments below and give me a like so I know that you've enjoyed it. And yeah, just thank you again for watching. I've been Dan and you've been awesome, and I'll see you soon for more Pokemon videos and more content on my channel. Thank you again, because I can't thank you enough. And as always, Take care and goodbye.